Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Historic Kicks Field in Edenton, North Carolina for this PCL matchup between the Edenton Steamers and Virginia Beach Sea Dogs. Thank you for deciding to spend your evening with me on the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. I'm Hayden Banzel. This is the fourth game of the season between these two teams, all of which the Steamers have been the home team. And they're also 3-0 against the Sea Dogs on the season. The Sea Dogs have technically not played a game in over a week. Their last game came on July 12th against the Greenbrier Knights. They did play 3.5 innings last night against the Tarboro River Bandits, but that game ended up getting rained out at Lakewood Park. The field, once it takes some rain, it really comes down and just makes the field all soggy and unable to play in. The Steamers, since the Sea Dogs have technically been off the last 8 days, they've only played 2 games in that 8-day span, in which they beat the Norfolk Redbirds last night here in Edenton 2-0. The Sea Dogs were trailing 1-0 against the River Bandits before that game ended up being canceled. And we do have the starting lineups for your Virginia Beach Sea Dogs. Trey Keels will be leading off, playing center field. Morris Ford, the second baseman, batting second. Bryce Lane, the third baseman, batting third. TJ McGowan will be playing first base, hitting cleanup. Aiden Pinto doing the DHing tonight for Virginia Beach in the 5-hole. Jordan Daddio behind the plate, batting sixth, batting seventh, and playing left field. Gavin Spencer. Emmett Jefferson is playing right field. He'll be batting eighth, and Christian Henderson batting ninth. And over at shortstop for the Edenton Steamers, Bryce Stevens for the fourth consecutive game, hitting leadoff, batting second. Chase Bruno slides down to the 2-hole, playing shortstop. Nate Paulson, the center fielder, batting third. In the cleanup hole, Case Kermode will be behind the plate. Jackson Hipp will be batting fifth, playing right field. Tate Abbott will be playing first base, batting sixth. Jared Beebe, the third baseman, batting seventh. Houston Wright, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And Tyler West, the left fielder, batting ninth. So Blake Gibson making his second start this season against the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs. And these are what his season numbers look like. With a 2-1 overall record, here's the first pitch. And it's upstairs to Trey Keels, 1-out. Throw that graphic back up for you on Blake Gibson. As Keels sends the first 1-0 pitch out to center. Back goes the center fielder, Paulson, and it's over his head. And standing on second base with a leadoff double to start our contest tonight is Trey Keels.
Virginia State, number 7, Morris Ford.
Safe on second.
This is Keels' first game since July 2nd for the Sea Dogs. And he hits his first double of the season. Morris Ford steps into the box and takes a called strike, 0-1. A 1 pitch, and that one's grounded over to third where Beebe is. He'll check Keels at second, holds him there, and fire across the diamond to beat out Ford for the first out of the night. That'll bring up tonight's starting third baseman, Bryce Lane. Blake Gibson, this is his second start against the Sea Dogs. He went 6 innings in his last one, recorded the victory, allowing just 1 run on 4 hits and 3 walks. And there's a called strike on Lane, 0-1. He also struck out 5 batters back on June 28th against Virginia Beach. That was a season high for Gibson. 0-1 is hit up the middle of the diamond and past the diving Bruno and Stevens and into center field. And now breaking for the plate, late as Keels. He has so much speed. And he'll come in safely to score the first run of the night on an RBI single off of the bat of Bryce Lane. So Lane singles just between the second and shortstop, Bryce Stevens and Chase Bruno. Nate Paulson kind of faked to throw the ball out in center field, and Trey Keels, probably one of the fastest guys in the league, breaks for home as the pickoff throw over to first where Lane is not in time. He'll dive back in safely. And again, Gibson throws over to check in on Lane. Here's the first pitch to McGowan. It's a called strike, 0-1. That's the 11th run batted in off of the bat of Bryce Lane. He stands on first base. He has 3 stolen bases on the season. Long hold from Gibson, and the 0-1 pitch misses outside. Count evens up at 1-1. Gowan hitting cleanup tonight, has an OPS of 996 this summer. As Gibson again throws over to Lane, third time that he's thrown over since Lane singled to bring in a run. And the 1-1 pitch misses, and the count runs to 2-1. And the 2-1 misses above the letters of McGowan, and now he's up 3-1. Sea Dogs still looking for their first win in the month of July. They have only played 3 games, and there's a 5-pitch walk to McGowan, and he arrives to first base with a 1-out walk. That'll bring up the designated hitter for the Sea Dogs tonight, Aiden Pinto. Here's the first offer to Pinto, and he fouls it over towards the right side, 0-1. Virginia Beach has had leads in 2 of the 3 games coming into the night against the Steamers as they tack on a run here in the first. A 1 from Gibson, and Pinto hits a fly ball out towards center. Back goes Paulson to the warning track, looking up, and it's out of here! Aiden Pinto, a 3-run homer. And it extends the lead here in the first for the Sea Dogs. It's now 4-0. The second home run of the season for Pinto.
Catcher from CCBC, that's number 5, Jordan.
It'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Daddio. Jordan Daddio does not have any batting gloves on. I'll deliver some more information on that throughout this at-bat. Daddio been struggling a bit at the plate this season. for Virginia Beach as he takes a called strike 1-1. So he decided to not use his batting gloves, and since he's gone without his straps, he's been 4 for 4 with a walk. The batting gloves are in his back pocket as he takes the 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2. Jordan did tell me that he got a new custom pair of gloves as he lays off that pitch to run the count full. So he was debating whether or not he was going to break them out tonight in his first at-bat. He decided to stick without the batting gloves, and he hits a ground ball to the shortstop, Bruno, who plays it on a couple hops and throws it to first in time for the second out.
Left field from Chris Newport, number 20, Gavin Spencer.
So we'll see if Jordan in his next at-bat decides to use those new custom batting gloves as Gavin Spencer, the left fielder, steps into the dish. He swings through the first offering from Gibson, 0-1. 4 runs have come in to score here in the first for the Sea Dogs, as Spencer is now down in the count, 0-2. They were up on the Steamers on opening day, as Spencer goes down swinging to retire the side. More on that later. But the Sea Dogs with a 4-run first to get things started here tonight. Robert Hatcher takes the mound with a 4-0 lead. It's the most runs support that he's gotten in the first inning from the Sea Dogs as his first pitch is fouled back by Bryce Stevens, 0-1. Stevens has been inserted into that leadoff hole in place of Chase Bruno, who's on the on-deck circle. Stevens, as the 0-1 pitch from Hatcher, is fouled back again, 0-2. Stevens has an on-base percentage of .429, which is the reason why manager Justin Hill has him leading off. And he goes down looking on 3 pitches from Robert Hatcher. Robert Hatcher, as a starter, he's been nothing but immaculate. As we see the stats here, it is a different story as a reliever, but he gets the start tonight against the Steamers. As you see, is no earned runs in 15 innings and now 1/3 of work as a starter. As Chase Bruno steps into the plate and he takes a called strike, 0-1. So those stats back up at you for Hatcher as a reliever. Similar amount of innings. And you can see 14 earned runs as the 0-1 pitch is fouled off by Bruno, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on Bruno. Here's the pitch from Hatcher. And that one's lined right past the shortstop, Christian Henderson, and into left field. So a good job there from Chase Bruno, who was down in the count, 0-2. Looked like Henderson could have had a play on it, but just came up shy. So that'll bring up Nate Paulson. This is the biggest lead this season that the Sea Dogs have had against the Steamers, as again Hatcher fires in a first pitch strike, 0-1. Oh, 2 pitch is low, 1-1. These two teams battled it out on opening day. For the Sea Dogs, it was Edenton's 3rd game. Virginia Beach led the whole game up 2-0. After they scored 2 runs in the 5th, but a run in the 7th and then 2 in the 8th. Allowed that game to slip away from them. They were up 1-0 after they scored a run in the 1st inning in their last meeting, as the ball hit slowly over towards the right side, and unable to come up with it is Morris Ford. And so that'll be an error on Ford. That allows Paulson to reach. That'll bring up the catcher, Case Kermode. As I was saying, the Sea Dogs were up 1-0 in the 1st inning in their last visit to Edenton. That was on Saturday, July 2nd on Fireworks Night. As a ground ball, that could be 2. Lane steps on the bag, and the throw to first is past McGowan.
Run it.
And over to back up the first baseman is Emmett Jefferson. So Lane gets the lead runner. But unable to fire a strike to first, as the ball goes down the right field line. That's the second error on the last two batters. Now Hatcher just trying to get out of it. Again, even if runs are scored, it would be unearned against Hatcher. He started off with first pitch strikes to the first four batters he's seen. And there's another first pitch strike that's popped up in foul ground. Over comes the catcher, Taddeo. And it lands foul. After the Sea Dogs took that 1-0 lead in the last matchup, the Steamers ended up scoring 9 unanswered runs for their third consecutive victory against Virginia Beach. 0-1 count here on the right fielder, Hip. Hatcher looking for a big out, and again, he's up on the count on Hip, 0-2. The third batter this inning that Hatcher has had an 0-2 count on. He ended up getting Stevens looking, and Bruno ended up lining one into left field. Just trying to retire Hip in any way possible. Up in the count yet again. 0-2 from Hatcher. And that one is fouled off over towards the left side, so we'll do it again. Hatcher steps off as him and Dadio try and get on the same page. Hatcher has 10 strikeouts as a starting pitcher, 18 coming into the night as a season. And Hip pokes one into right, in comes Emmett Jefferson to make the catch. So Hatcher leaves two runners stranded in scoring position, and at the end of one, the Sea Dogs are up 4-0. Get your game on with D-Bat Virginia Beach baseball, softball, training, and more. D-Bat Virginia Beach is a state-of-the-art facility with over 17,000 square feet, 13 batting cages, and professional instructors who don't just know baseball and softball, but live and breathe it. You can find them located at 5258A Fairfield Shopping Center in Virginia Beach. You can call them at 757-467-1111. You can also visit their website at dbatvirginiabeach.com. Welcome back into historic Hicks Field on the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. The Sea Dogs tacked on early in the first off of Blake Gibson, as Emmett Jefferson takes a first pitch strike from Gibson, 0-1. Gibson in his first 5 starts didn't have an outing where he allowed more than more than 2 earned runs as he's quickly up on the count on Jefferson, 0-2. But in his last start against Tarboro, he went 3 innings and 2/3, allowing 4 runs as Jefferson fouls off the 0-2 pitch. So we'll do that again.
They're not back in 20 minutes. 10 minutes. We'll be
2 of those 4 runs came in the first inning. And here tonight, the Sea Dogs get him for 4 in the first, already tying the most amount of runs he's allowed in a single outing. He's only gone 1 inning. Did retire his last 2 batters, and now he gets Jefferson looking for a called strike. 3-second strikeout from Gibson. And it'll bring up the shortstop, Christian Henderson. Henderson takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. Just hitting a $172 in the 9-hole tonight for Virginia Beach.
Oh, they're coming back up the stands.
And quickly down in the count, 0-2. So after Hatcher was up on the count on his first 2 batters, 0-2. As Henderson slaps one into right field, that'll fall in front of Jackson Hitt for a base hit. So same exact thing as the last half inning. Robert Hatcher was up on the count, 0-2. On his first 2 batters, ended up getting Bryce Stevens looking, and Chase Bruno ended up singling. And now in this inning, Blake Gibson up on the count, 0-2 on Emmett Jefferson, who he gets looking, and then Christian Henderson ends up singling. And throwing over to first base is Gibson. Henderson only has 1 stolen base attempt where he arrives safely. Once again, Gibson throws over. Back to the top of the lineup for the Sea Dogs. Trey Kills, who doubled into center field in his first at-bat, came in to score the first run of the game. Kills just has so much speed. And again, throw over. Henderson slides back in safely. Kills will be going to West Virginia University. He's one of their most highly recruited talents ever in the program's history. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt to Keels, 2-0.
They're over there. This is a restroom.
Keels' last game as a Sea Dog came back on July 2nd, where he went 0 for 2, so he's already stretched that out tonight, as time is asked for by Keels, as indicated by the home plate umpire. It's up in the count, 2-0. First batter this inning that Gibson has gotten behind in the count on. 2-0 to Keels, then he slaps another ball into center. In comes Paulson, and he can't get there. It'll fall in front of him for a base hit. Good read off of the bat from Henderson, who easily pulls into second. It's a 1-out single for Keels. He's now 2 for 2.
Second base, Virginia State, 1-7, Morris Ford.
That'll bring up the right-handed Morris Ford. Ford batting second, playing second. He had a ground ball to the third baseman, Beebe, in his last at-bat. And he swings at the first pitch from Gibson and fouls it down the third base line. The count goes to 0-1. Coming into the night, Ford is 0 for 4 against the Steamers in his 2 games played against them. 0-1 on Ford. Pitch from Gibson. Good layoff there from Ford on a ball in the dirt. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sea Dogs trying to gain some ground. We currently sit in 4th place in the PCL, and again Ford hits a foul ball down the third base side. Here are the standings coming into the night in the Premier Collegiate League with the River Bandits in 1st place. They have the night off tonight. Steamers in 2nd. Sea Dogs trying to reach that 500 mark. We're 3 games back on a 3-game losing streak. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ford. Here's the pitch. And a called strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning from Gibson. And there are 2 down here in the top of the 2nd. That'll bring up the rookie Bryce Lane. Lane is 3 for 8 in the series coming into the night. He's 1 for 1 today with an RBI single in the first, and he takes a called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to Lane, and he shoots that one foul and out of play. So that's the 3rd batter in the inning. That Gibson is up 0-2-1. Those 2 batters ended up striking out and singling. And Gibson will step off with Keels on first, but Henderson in front of him. Somewhat takes away from the speed that Keels has. Now Henderson takes off for 3rd on an early steal. He is thrown out for the 3rd out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd from historic Kicks Field. Robert Hatcher out there for his second inning of work, facing the left-handed hitter Tate Abbott. Abbott, the starting first baseman tonight for the Steamers. And the first pitch that he sees from Hatcher is swung through for a strike, 0-1. Hatcher, like the opposing starting pitcher Blake Gibson, making his second start against the other team. 0-1 from Hatcher is fouled down the right side, and 0-2. Hatcher started in the Sea Dogs' first game of the season, went 6 2/3 innings, only allowed 1 run, which of course was unearned. Struck out 2 batters and walked 1. Hatcher is a pitcher of contact. He does have 1 strikeout through 1 inning tonight. And the 0-2 pitch is laid off from Abbott. Count moves to 1-2. Hatcher coming into the night, 18 strikeouts in his 28 2/3 innings of work. But up on the count here on hip, 1-2. 1-2 from Hatcher. And that one's chopped over towards the first baseman, McGowan, who steps on first for the first out here in the second. 3U in your scorecard if you're scoring at home. And that'll bring up Jared Beebe. Hatcher did face the Steamers in a relief outing. In their last meeting, he went 2 scoreless innings. Or excuse me, he went 2 innings and allowed 1 run, which was earned. Didn't strike out anyone in that appearance, walked 2 batters. As his first pitch to Beebe is low for ball 1. 1-0 from Hatcher. And there's a breaking ball for a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Jared Beebe hitting 238, or excuse me, 250 on the air, and he's now down in the count 1-2. Beebe is, after he had a 4-game stretch of 6 hits, his last 4 games he has 0 hits as he rolls one over to Ford, whose throw is off the line. That's the 3rd error of the night that will be charged to a Sea Dog. And what could have been the 2nd out, it allows Jared Beebe to reach first. So that's the 2nd error on Morris Ford. And the first pitch to the lefty right is a called strike, 0-1. A 1 delivery from Hatcher is flied over towards the left side, out of play. Hatcher's been good at getting ahead on the count thus far tonight on the Steamers. Up 0-2 on right. Who's in the DH role tonight for the Steamers. 0-2 pitch. And that one's flied out over towards center where Keels has it lined up for the 2nd out. I'll bring up Tyler West. But first, Hatcher throws over to first. Diving back in is Jared Beebe. And that ball is laid off from West, 1-0. This is the first plate appearance that Tyler West is having against the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs as the 1-0 pitch is spiked in front of home plate, 2-0. He did appear in the second game, but that was only for defensive purposes. Up on the count, 2-0. First 2-0 count that we've seen Hatcher fall into, and it's fouled away from West. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. West had a hit last night against the Redbirds. Snapped a game of 4 consecutive hitless contests for West. It's just his 6th hit of the year as he swings through the upstairs fastball from Hatcher. Count evens up at 2-2. West just hitting 182 for Edenton. Now down in the count, 2-2. Two from Hatcher. And West hits a fly ball towards left field. Gavin Spencer calls off Bryce Lane, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So one runner does reach base for the Steamers in the second, but is stranded on first. We've played 2 innings here at historic Hicks Field. Mercedes-Benz of Virginia Beach has earned their reputation as one of the Hampton Roads' most trusted luxury car dealers. Since their establishment in 2014, they found themselves as a premier name for Mercedes-Benz sales with exceptional service and unbeatable selections. If you're looking for a newer pre-owned vehicle, they're the place to go to. Being the premier dealership in Virginia Beach with a vast selection of Mercedes-Benz vehicles and easy leasing and financing. They're located on 4949 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach. You can call them at 757-499-3771. You can also visit their website at mercedes-benzofvirginiabeach.com. Top of the third inning here as Bryce Lane fouls off the pitch from Blake Gibson, 0-1. Lane was up at the dish in an 0-2 count when Christian Henderson broke from second before Blake Gibson even released the ball. All he had to do was step off and throw over to third base to retire Henderson and end the inning. That was probably beneficial for the Sea Dogs. One of their better hitters at the dish was down in an 0-2 count, and now he's back again down in an 0-2 count. But you'd rather have Bryce Lane up with 0 outs rather than 2 outs, especially when he was down in the count 0-2. He's down in the count again and takes the 0-2 pitch low from Gibson as it runs to 1-2. Lane knocked in a run with a single. He's 1 for 1 today. 1-2 to Lane. And he lays off the pitch from Gibson, and now the count is even at 2-2. Two to Lane, and he swings through the 2-2 pitch for strike 3. Fourth strikeout of the night for Gibson.
Also, our tickets are down in our ticket booth. You'll see Alan down there.
And it'll bring up TJ McGowan.
Also, again, come under, you just buy those and you don't need that.
Tough to see Lane strike out as McGowan takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Coming into the matchup tonight, he has just struck out 3 times in his 33 plate appearances. He was down in the count 0-2 on what was unofficially 2 at-bats and went down swinging. 2 balls and a strike here on McGowan, who walked in his only at-bat tonight. And he fouls off the offer from Gibson. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gibson ended up Lane to swing on a 2-2 pitch in the last at-bat. See what McGowan's able to do. He swings through the pitch. Second straight strikeout from Gibson. He's now got 6 on the night. 5.
Designated hitter from Randolph, Macon, number 27, Aiden Pinto.
So that'll bring up Aiden Pinto. Pinto is the big hit thus far tonight. First inning, sent one over the center field fence. He takes another big hack there on the delivery from Gibson. 0-1. And Pinto, it's a fly ball over towards right. That'll fall for a base hit. So Pinto's 2 for 2.
Pitcher from CCBC Essex, number 5, Jordan Daddio.
Pinto with 2 hits on the night. The Steamers just have 1 in their first 2 innings off of Robert Hatcher. That'll bring up Jordan Daddio. Mentioned in his last at-bat that Jordan did not have any batting gloves on. They were in his back pocket, the right one in the right side and the left one in the left side. But now Jordan does have those batting gloves on after he ended up being retired for the first time without the batting gloves this season. He takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Hoping for some good luck as Gibson throws over to first where Pinto is, who arrives back safely. And the throw over to first, not in time again. Closer play there. Abbott was running back towards the dugout after he placed the tag on Aiden Pinto. 1-0 pitch to Daddio. And it's a fly ball in foul territory. Abbott's waiting for it. And he makes the catch. So the Sea Dogs get a base runner aboard, but leave Pinto on first base. We'll go to the bottom of the third here in Edenton, North Carolina. Second time through the order against Robert Hatcher for the Edenton Steamers, Bryce Stevens. Swings to the first pitch here in the bottom of the third from Hatcher, 0-1. Stevens has been leading off lately. In the last handful of games, did not do his job as the leadoff hitter in his first at-bat. Ended up striking out, looking on 3 pitches from Hatcher. And there's the first ball that he sees of the night to even up the count at 1-1. Stevens was the only man that Hatcher struck out first time around the order. And again, Stevens swings to the pitch, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two from Hatcher, and that one's rolled over towards the shortstop Henderson, and there's the 4th error of the night for the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs, and it allows Bryce Stevens to reach first base to get the 3rd inning started. It's the first time tonight that the Steamers have had their leadoff man aboard. And now 3 of the Virginia Beach's infielders all have errors on them. Lane has 1, Henderson now has 1, and Ford at second has 2. Making Hatcher work a little bit more than he should. The only one that's had a clean hit is Chase Bruno, as Hatcher throws over to Stevens, who dives back in safely. Bruno hit a single past Henderson on a line drive on an 0-2 count. And there goes the runner, Stevens. Throw from Daddio from his knees is not in time. It's a stolen base for Bryce Stevens.
Downtown Edenton, slide in their store today and show your Steamers tickets to get 10% off your purchase.
That's the 8th stolen base this season for Stevens. And it puts him in scoring position with nobody out. Long hold here from Hatcher, and Stevens steps out of the box. Or, excuse me, Bruno. And if Stevens were to score, it still would be an unearned run off of Robert Hatcher. It's really been a tale of 2 tales. Ford holding Stevens at second tightly, and Bruno hits one towards the right side. That'll fall in front of Jefferson. Stevens will hold up at third. He didn't get such a good read off of the bat. So Bruno's 2 for 2. He has the only hits of the night for Edenton. And it puts runners on the corners with nobody out. Bring up Nate Paulson, who reached on an error in his only at-bat tonight. Hatcher could use a strikeout here, and first pitch is popped up in the infield. Hatcher will take that. Henderson waits for it to come down. He falls to his knees and makes the catch. And a good heads-up base running play from Stevens, as he'll come in to score. That might be the shortest sacrifice fly that you'll ever see. Henderson was camped under it and just ended up falling on his bottom. And Stevens ended up taking third. Or excuse me, taking home. So that'll be an RBI for Paulson. As that infield for Hatcher keeps letting him down. Another pop-up. This one into center field, and Trey Keels reels in that one for the second out. That'll bring up Jackson Hip. Hip flew out to right field in his last at-bat to end the first inning when there were 2 runners in scoring position. 2 outs again here for Hip. And the first pitch from Hatcher is shot out into left, and that'll fall in front of Gavin Spencer. Take one hop and go to the wall. Chase Bruno will be held up at third. It's a 2-out double for Jackson Hip. And for the second time in 3 innings, the Steamers have runners on second and third with 2 outs. It's the 6th double of the season for Hip, and it'll bring up Tate Abbott. Left-hander's 0 for 1. He steps out of the box. And now he's ready. And he fouls off the first pitch toward the right side. Abbott's 3 for 9 coming into the night against the Sea Dogs as he yanks one deep down the right field line. That'll go foul into the beer garden here at Historic Hicks Field. William Wyan is now warming up in the bullpen for Virginia Beach. Up on the count, 0-2 on the lefty Abbott. Here's the 42nd pitch from Hatcher, and Abbott chops one over to first again, and again it's foul. So Abbott has seen 3 pitches in this at-bat, and he's fouled all of them down the right side. Sea Dogs have already blown 2 leads against the Steamers this season in their 3 games. Went up 4-0 in the first inning, thanks to Aiden Pinto's second home run of the season. It's currently 4-1. They try to hold on to it here. And again, Abbott fouls one. Lane comes for a look, and that one's out of play. Hatcher trying to limit the damage here after his infield has not necessarily had his back here tonight. 4 errors, a pop-up that brought in a run as well. And that wasn't one of the errors, and that one sails to the backstop. Here comes Bruno, and he'll come in to score the second run of the inning. Time is going to be called as the home plate umpire brushes off the plate. Hatcher was up in the count, 0-2 on Abbott, and then sailed one right over the glove of Daddio. So now the count is 1-2, 2 runs home for the Steamers in the third. Hatcher looking for a strikeout here. 1-2 pitch, and that one's lined right to Henderson, who makes the catch, but 2 runs do score for Edenton. They cut the VB lead in half at the end of 3. Gavin Spencer leading off the 4th inning against Blake Gibson. And his first pitch is fouled off, 0-1. Gibson now has 21 strikeouts on the season, which include the 5 that he has here tonight. And 10 of those 21 have been against Sea Dog hitters. So, a bit of a win-win, because although he has 5 strikeouts, he has allowed 5 runs in the 2 total starts thus far. Spencer went around, and Kermo slaps the ball onto him. So there is the 6th strikeout for Gibson. That's the most that he's had in a single outing this season. His most coming into the night was, of course, against the Sea Dogs, where he struck out 5 in 6 innings of work. He's already struck out 6 in 3 1/3. Emmett Jefferson up in the count 1-0 with the shortstop Christian Henderson on deck. And the 1-0 is grounded over to Bruno for the 2nd out.
Shortstop in Virginia State, number 1, Christian Henderson.
So 2 up and 2 down in the inning for Gibson, who is yet to have a 1-2-3 inning tonight. In fact, neither has Robert Hatcher. And Henderson swings through the fastball, 0-1. The 0-1 to Henderson is a breaking ball that catches the corner of home plate, and he's down in the count, 0-2. And just gets a piece of the 0-2 pitch, so we'll do it again. Henderson singled back in the 2nd. And there's the first ball of the at-bat. Count moves to 1-2. Lays off that pitch above the letters. The count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the 9-hole hitter Henderson. The 2-2 from the windup. And And Henderson just got a piece of that one to stay alive. To the 2-2 again. It's from Gibson. And he struck him out for strike 3. 7th strikeout of the night for Gibson as he continues to stretch his season high. William Wine is the first man out of the pen for either team tonight. He comes into relief of Robert Hatcher, who went 4 innings and did not allow an earned run yet again. 2 runs did come in to score. That was in the last inning. They were both unearned. A ball and a strike here on BB. And BB hits a fly ball over towards right. Jefferson moves to his left, and it'll fall in front of the Sea Dogs bullpen. And the count moves to 1-2. One-two pitch struck him out. So one batter and Ryan gets BB on strikes. After Hatcher only struck out one batter, that was his first one that he saw. Ryan strikes out the first batter that he sees. First pitch swinging is the lefty Houston right. He hits one foul and out of play, 0-1. Right, the former PCL MVP. He's in the 8-hole tonight for the Steamers. The count evens to 1 ball and 1 strike. Wyan has only appeared in 2 games for the Sea Dogs. As he steps off. He went an inning and 2/3 in his last game. That was here at Historic Hicks Field, where he allowed 4 runs. One of them was unearned, and that one will dunk in front of the right fielder Jefferson for a 1-out hit for right.
Left field from 2 on, number 5.
So after Gibson went 1-2-3 in the top half of the 4th against the Sea Dogs, Wyan comes out of relief, facing 7-8-9, gets Beebe swinging, but Wright able to reach base for the first time tonight with an opposite field, or with a single for the lefty. And first pitch seen by West is popped up in foul ground. McGowan's camped under it, and he makes the catch in foul territory for the 2nd out.
Second base and prospect, number 2.
I'll bring up the top of the order. Bryce Stevens, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He did reach on an error to lead off the 3rd inning for Edenton and came in to score the first run for the Steamers. Now Wyan throwing some warm-up pitches, not quite sure what happened there. He did only need 1 though. First pitch from Wyan to Stevens, and Stevens lays it off outside. Count goes to 1-0. Stevens hits a high fly ball to center. Keel's waiting for it to come down, and that'll retire the side. So the Steamers leave another runner on board. We'll head to the 5th inning here in Edenton with the Sea Dogs up 4-2. top of the order for the Sea Dogs to start the 5th inning. After Blake Gibson, who's out there for his 5th inning of work, throws the first pitch and it hits Keels, who will take first base. So that's the second time that Keels has led off an inning to reach base. He's the only one who has led off and reached and gotten the board on the base paths. Edenton has done that once, and that also came from their leadoff hitter when Bryce Stevens was able to reach on an error. Watch out for Keels. He likes to steal. And first pitch swinging is forward. One hopper for Bruno. Throw to second in time and on to first. And Abbott's unable to scoop it up. So Edenton gets the force out. Could have been 2 if Abbott were able to pick it up out of the ground cleanly. So 2 pitches, 2 batters faced in the inning for Gibson after he hit Keels and allows Ford to reach on a fielder's choice. That'll bring up Bryce Lane. But first, throwing over to first base is Gibson to check in on Morris Ford. Surprising that he didn't check in on Keels and that he checked in on Ford. Ford is 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts this summer. Lane lays off that pitch from Gibson, 1-0. Bryce is 1 for 2 tonight. Knocked in the first run. It's a single back in the first. 1-0 to Lane. And that pitch brushes him off the plate, and the count moves to 2-0. Lane hitting .323 coming into the night. And he takes that pitch low and away. And for the first time tonight, a pitcher is behind the count 3-0.
Literally everybody's parents that were in there.
3-0 to Lane. And that one is right down the middle for a called strike, 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch just missed inside for ball 4. I think Bryce wanted to hit. He's slowly walking over towards first. And now he finally drops the bat. So it's a 1-out walk.
Oh, yeah? I bet you know what? I bet if you went up and asked the player, I guarantee you they would give you a baseball with their signature on it. I bet they would if you asked them.
That'll bring up TJ McGowan. McGowan's 0 for 1 tonight. He's struck out and walked. And he takes a first pitch strike from Gibson.
What kind of donut? Sugar donut. Exactly perfect.
McGowan getting the start over at first base. And he swings through that pitch. Throw down over to first from Kermode. And diving back in safely is Bryce Lane. Count moves to 1-1. Gibson has struck out a batter in every inning. Does not have one thus far here in the 5th. He struck out 2 hitters in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as he steps off. He only struck out 1 in the 1st, and that's when the Sea Dogs scored their 4 runs. And that pitch is inside. The count is actually 1-2.
Sorry, please, sir or ma'am out of this one. So if you can get any of the above out of him, you're doing good.
1-2 pitch. A called strike 3. So there is the first strikeout of the inning for Blake Gibson and his 8th of the night. He continues to fan Sea Dog hitters. It's the third batter that he's got looking. That'll bring up Aiden Pinto. Pinto takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. Aiden has 2 extra base hits. Both of them have been home runs. One of them tonight, and he sends one out to center. Back goes Paulson to the warning track, and he has just enough room to make the catch. We're halfway through here in Edenton. It's the Sea Dogs 4, Steamers 2. The 2022 PCL All-Star Game takes place right here in Edenton. Tickets are on sale now. You can call the office at 252-482-4080. You can also go to EdentonSteamers.com to purchase your tickets today. The event is this weekend with the Home Run Derby on Friday night. Tickets are $5, and the All-Star Game tickets are $8 on Saturday, July 23rd. Both events start at 7 p.m. We hope to see you here for what will be a fun time in the PCL All-Star Game. Two, 3, 4 in the order due up for the Steamers. That's Bruno, followed by Paulson, and then Case Kermode. And the first pitch that Bruno sees from William Wine is lined into right, and right there is Emmett Jefferson to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th for William Wine as we get that score bug settled in for you. I'm a one-man show. Just trying to keep you guys up to date. That'll bring up Nate Paulson. Paulson in his last at-bat hit that pop-up in the infield as he shoots one foul into the beer garden, 0-1. The pop-up ended up being caught by Henderson, but he fell onto his knees, onto his bottom. As the 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1. And when Henderson fell to his bottom as the pitch is hit out to center. Over comes Keels, and that'll fall and take a couple hops and go to the back wall. It's a 1-out double for Nate Paulson, his first hit of the night. It puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out. So that'll bring up the catcher, Case Kermode. And Kermode lays off the first pitch from Lyon, 1-0. Doing the catching tonight. Him and Jeremiah Boyd have been flip-flopping games all season. 1-0 pitch is popped up, and that'll go out of play. Jordan Daddio never saw where it was, but it was going out of the ballpark here in Edenton, as the count is 1-1 on Kermode. Kermode hitting .259 coming into the night. He's had hits in his last 2 games, and he's now up in the count 2-1. He's 0 for 2 thus far tonight. Has a chance to cut again into the Sea Dog lead, who are up 4-0 after a 4-run first. If you're just joining us, Bryce Lane knocked in Trey Keels from second with an RBI single into center field. And the very next batter, TJ McGowan, walked, and Aiden Pinto sent one over the center field fence. For a quick start for Virginia Beach. We're up 4-0 at the end of 1. And then in the 3rd inning, the Steamers tacked on 2 runs on a pop-up sacrifice fly right behind the infield grass. As the count runs full here on Kermode. Payoff pitch. And that one slapped foul, so we'll do it again. And then on a wild pitch from Robert Hatcher, Chase Pruno came in to score the 2nd run for Edenton, and that's where we stand here in the 5th. Payoff pitch from Wyan, and we'll do it again. So Kermode making Wyan work. This will be the 3rd 3-2 delivery from the right-handed pitcher who came out of relief in the last inning, and he steps off. To keep Paulson in check. Stands on second after he doubled in the last at-bat. 3-2 pitch. And a high fly ball to center. Keels goes back and has just enough room in front of the warning track. Now tagging and going to 3rd is Paulson. Arrives safely, so it's a sacrifice fly for Case Kermode. The 2nd time that he's flown out to center tonight. And now there are 2 down here in the home 5th.
Jackson Gill.
So that'll bring up Jackson Hipp. Hipp's 1 for 2. He doubled in his last plate appearance. 1 of 2 extra base hits for the Steamers. The man who accounts for the other one is Nate Paulson. He stands on 3rd base. And Hipp checks the swing, and it'll roll foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the righty. And hits that one out of play, and he's down in the count, 0-2. Steamers have already left 3 runners stranded in scoring position tonight. Wyans trying to make that 4. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it's slapped out into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. And rounding first and taking second is Jackson Hippets, the second double of the inning off of William Wyan. And it brings in the 3rd run of the night for Edenton. It's now 4-3.
Runs off you by HCOB at Florida Park. You can run over to the website. For $5 off your admission, and run over to
Second time tonight that Steamers hitters have fallen down in the count, 0-2. Still manage to get a base knock. That'll bring up the lefty Tate Abbott. 0 for 2 tonight. That's the second double of the evening for Hip. One 0 from Wyan, and it's fouled straight back. Count evens up at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to the lefty, and it's swung through, and the count goes to 1-2. Hip came into the night with 5 doubles, stands on second after he doubled, the second of the night. 1-2 from Wyan, trying to get out of this inning, and it's popped up over towards the left side. Bryce Lane comes over and foul ground, and the left fielder Spencer makes the catch. So another run does come into score for the Steamers. They continue to claw here in Edenton, still trailing 4-3. Jordan Daddio steps into the box to start the 6th inning tonight. Jordan is now wearing his batting gloves again, so after he grounds out to the shortstop without the batting gloves as he hits one down the left field line. That's a fair ball for Daddio. He's rounding first as that ball is hit into the right field gap, and the throw to second is not in time. Oh, the ball beat Daddio by a couple steps, but he's able to avoid the tag from Bryce Stevens. And standing on second base with the leadoff double is Jordan Daddio. Tyler West did a good job out in left field to get that ball in quickly. The ball certainly beat the catcher Daddio, but he was able to swim around the tag. So first pitch swinging from Daddio. That's his first extra base hit of the season. So the count goes to 1-0 here on Gavin Spencer. Spencer's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts tonight. 1-0 offer from Gibson, and that one's hit to the shortstop. Bruno taking third is Daddio. Bruno will go that way to throw out Daddio. So Daddio tried to stretch out a double. He arrived safely, and then he tried to take third on a ball hit towards the left side, and he's thrown out. They'll bring up Emmett Jefferson. He's 0 for 2. That struck out once and grounded out, and he swings at the first pitch from Gibson. 0-1. There's a fan here in Edenton wearing a Joey Wendell jersey. Wendell, of course, a former Steamer. In fact, Chase Bruno broke the hit streak for hits in consecutive games as a Steamer this season. That broke Joey Wendell's record. Fan is wearing a Rays jersey. Wendell, of course, represented the Rays in the All-Star game last season. Currently with the Miami Marlins, the other Florida team, as Jefferson goes down swinging on 3 pitches for the second out. And speaking of Steamers in the big leagues, Tanner Thatch was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 18th round of this year's Major League Baseball draft, as Christian Henderson breaks his bat on the first pitch thrown from Gibson to retire the side. So 1 hit, no runs, 1 left for the Sea Dogs as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in Edenton. Get your game on with D-Bat Virginia Beach baseball, softball, training, and more. D-Bat Virginia Beach is a state-of-the-art facility with over 17,000 square feet, 13 batting cages, and professional instructors who don't just know baseball and softball, but live and breathe it. Find them located at 5258A Fairfield Shopping Center in Virginia Beach. You can call them at 757-467-1111. You can also visit their website at dbatsovirginiabeach.com. Bottom of the 6th inning here in Edenton. The Sea Dogs up on the Steamers. 4-3. First pitch is lined right to the second baseman, Morris Ford. One pitch and one out again for the second consecutive inning for William Lyon.
There's a hitter from University of Tennessee Mark, number 22, Houston Wright.
And a hard line drive hit off with the bat of Jared Beebe. 7, 8, 9 due up in the order for Edenton.
It was good seeing you. Hey,
That'll bring up the left-handed designated hitter, Houston Wright. And Wright swings and foul tips that pitch from Gibson, 0-1. Wright's 1 for 2 tonight.
You let me know when you go. We'll be there.
So I mentioned Tanner Thatch in the top half of this inning. He was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 18th round of this year's draft. Tanner has not yet signed with the Giants. The reason for him not being here tonight is, of course, he is at school right now at UNC Wilmington, where right now he is slated to play his ball in the spring. And first pitch swinging, Tyler West chops one towards the shortstop Henderson, who can't get it out of his glove. That's the second error tonight on Henderson and the 5th of the evening for the Sea Dogs. So back to the top of the lineup with Bryce Stevens. Tanner Thatch currently not present tonight because he is at school at UNC Wilmington as the first pitch is fouled off, 0-1.
We're going to leave after this inning. I'm going to grab it.
Thatch still does come back to Edenton on the weekends, which means that he will participate in the home run derby to represent the Steamers. Each of the 6 PCL teams will get 2 hitters on Friday night. For the Steamers, outside of Tanner Thatch, the second representative will be Jeremiah Boyd. The Steamers had a home run competition of their own as Daddio tries to backpick Tyler West, who slides back in safely at first. And went into a tiebreaker between Jeremiah Boyd and Chris Morris. Every Steamer that participated had 10 outs, and whoever hit the most home runs would be the second member of Edenton to be in the home run derby. They each hit 5 in the first round with their 10 outs. That's Chris Morris and Jeremiah Boyd. So they went into a sudden death where their outs were cut in half to 5 each. Chris Morris hit 2 home runs. He started, and Jeremiah Boyd walked it off. Do not yet know the representatives as West is stealing on the 3-2 pitch. Let me get the scorebook set for you as I continue to blab on about the home run derby. We'll be here in Edenton on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Not quite sure if I myself will be broadcasting that. Right now, the plan is to stream on one channel, which is the Edenton Steamers channel. As the 3-2 pitch is hit deep to center, back goes Keels, and he can't come up with it. West is rounding third. That's going to tie the game on a long 2-out double off of the bat of Bryce Stevens. It's his first hit of the night. It ties the game at 4 here in the 6th.
Shortstop from Andre, number 4, Chase Bruno.
And now the tying run in scoring position for Chase Bruno. That's the 6th double of the season for Stevens, 8th run batted in. See if Bruno can follow him. Sea Dogs are up 4-0. That was back in the first inning. Well, they've been held in check for the previous 5 innings from Blake Gibson. And Wyan sails that pickoff into center field. And over to third goes Stevens. No one was over to cover for the Sea Dogs, and Wyan, who wanted to throw over, probably noticed that no one was there. The ball ended up slipping out of his hands. Chase Bruno has 2 runs batted in his last 3 games. Wyan trying to prevent that streak continuing here tonight. He's down on the count on the number 2 hole hitter, 2-0. And now a strike at the knees of Bruno. And gets a reaction out of the Edenton crowd. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Bruno's 2 for 3 tonight with 2 singles, and he scored a run. And he lines one right to the second baseman, Ford, who dives to make the catch. But the Steamers tack on another run here in the 6th. We're all knotted up at Historic Hicks Field at 4 apiece. New arm on the mound for the Steamers. It's Chris Morris. Now, if you're wondering, didn't you just say Chris Morris was potentially going to represent Edenton in the home run derby? That is correct. It is the same Chris Morris. Morris is a two-way guy. Definitely more of a pitcher than a hitter for the Steamers this summer. Facing the top of the lineup for the Sea Dogs. And their all-star Trey Keels. Keels fouls the pitch off to even up the count at 1-1. Morris went one scoreless inning of relief in these two teams' last meeting. He did walk two batters, but left both of them stranded as he bounces a pitch in the dirt in front of home plate. Count goes to 2-1. And there's a 2-1 called strike, 2-2. This is the 10th appearance out of the bullpen for Morris. He only started one game, which was the last time he pitched over a week ago today, but he gets Trey Keels to strike out. First time tonight that Keels is retired. It's the 10th strikeout from Edenton pitching tonight. And Morris Ford lays off on the first pitch from Morris, 1-0. Morris has gone a total of 18 2/3 innings as Ford dunks one into center field for a one-out hit. First hit of the night for Morris Ford. Morris has an earned run average of 289 for the Steamers. First pitch to Bryce Lane is swung through from the righty, 0-1. Lane's 1 for 2. He's singled and walked. A 1 from Morris. And again, Lane swings through the fastball, 0-2. Oh, 2 to Lane. And he gets a piece of that one, and foul ground overcomes the first baseman, Abbott, and he makes the basket catch for the second out. Tate Abbott, who struggled mentally on those pop-ups, he's done a good job of that recently. He's made 2 of those catches in foul ground tonight. That one was definitely much tougher than the play he made in the third inning when Jordan Daddio fouled out. Over to Abbott. First pitch to TJ McGowan is upstairs, 1-0. Here on McGowan. He lays off the pitch from Morris, and the count goes to 2-0. Gowan, probably the best hitter that's present for the Sea Dogs. They lost Alex Uloa to the MLB Draft League. Sean Stewart is no longer with the team, and Sammy Canella is on vacation. And Sammy, if you're watching, I hope you're not. Sammy is in Israel, so there's a 7-hour time difference. It's about 4 in the morning there. Ground ball over for Bruno to his right side, throws across his body, and in time.
46.
It's stretch time here in Edenton. We're all tied up at 4 apiece. Mercedes-Benz offers Mercedes-Benz repair and service, so you have access to the latest specialized technology and precise analysis from Mercedes-Benz trained technicians who undergo regular, frequent training, so they're always up to date on every component of your vehicle. Find them at 4949 to Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach. You can also call their service hotline, 757-499-3773. You can also visit their website at mercedes-benzofvirginiabeach.com, where you can find service coupons, schedule a service, or order parts and accessories for your Mercedes-Benz vehicles. Jordan Irizarry making his season debut for the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs this summer. Irizarry, a left-handed pitcher. And his first pitch is a called strike on Nate Paulson, 0-1. It's Paulson, Kermode, and Hip. 3-4-5 in the order for Irizarry, who comes into a tied ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Trying to keep the lead where it is. As that pitch is hit down the line, foul, 0-2. After the Steamers have been able to tack on a run in each of the previous 2 innings to tie this ball game. Sea Dogs have yet to score since the first inning, after Aiden Pinto hit a 3-run homer. 0-2 from Irizarry, and that one goes through the glove of the new catcher, Talib Whitfield, 1-2. So Jordan Daddio is now done catching behind the plate, and I'd assume Whitfield will hit for him, even though Daddio Had his first extra base hit of the season in his last plate appearance. The rest of the defense is still the same, and a called strike 3. So Whitfield retires Paulson for the first batter that he sees this season. For the first out in the home 7th. First pitch to Case Kermode is spiked in the dirt, 1-0.
Last call for the number 06.
Case Kermode is 0 for 3 tonight. Looking for his first hit of the night. 1-0 pitch, and that one nearly hits Kermode as he spins away from it. And it moves the count to 2-0. Kermode comes into the night with 3 hits in his last 2 games. As he hits a looper over in the middle of the diamond, and Henderson ends up with it for the second out. That time, Christian was able to stay on his feet. Jordan Irizarry did attend Campbell University. He's from Chesapeake, Virginia, but he has transferred and will be playing his spring ball at Patrick and Henry Community College this spring. And the first pitch he throws to Hip is a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 breaking ball is fired in for a strike, 1-1. And Hip lays off the 1-1 delivery from Irizarry, 2-1. And that one is rolled up the middle of the diamond. And the second baseman, Ford, has no play. A good job to get over there to prevent the ball from going into center field. But it is a 2-out single for Jackson Hip to keep things going here in the 7th.
First baseman, Catawba Valley, number 20, Nate Abbott.
So we'll have our first lefty on lefty matchup tonight as Tate Abbott steps into the box. Abbott's 0 for 3 tonight, and he fouls off. The first pitch from Irizarry, 0-1.
8-2,
Abbott is hitless in his last 3 games. He fouled out down the left field line where Gavin Spencer made the running catch. He had a hard line drive to Christian Henderson as well. That shortstop was able to catch. Count is even at a ball and a strike. The pitch from the stretch, and Irizarry has Hip picked off, and the throw to second is not in time. So that'll be a stolen base for Jackson Hip, who was going on the first move from the lefty. He did the right thing if the steal sign was on. Irizarry threw it over to first, and McGowan's throw to second was not in time to beat out Jackson Hip. So now there's a runner in scoring position for Tate Abbott. And the 1-1 is able to be laid off and stopped by the new catcher to leave Whitfield. The count goes to 2-1. That's the first time this season that Tate has attempted to steal a bag. Certainly not how he thought his first stolen base would come. Or excuse me, for Hip. And Abbott fouls it off. Tate Abbott is at the dish on a full count. Rosario looking for a big out here. From the stretch, there goes Abbott, and the pitch is looped into center field. That'll dunk in for a base hit. And the Steamers have the lead for the first time tonight. It's 5-4 here in the 7th. After Irizarry retired his first two batters, Jackson Hip with an infield single. He ends up getting picked off, but arrived safely into second. He was running on the full count pitch to Tate Abbott, who looped the ball into center field for an RBI single. Called strike as Whitfield throws over to first to check in on Abbott. 0-1 on Jared Beebe. A one from Whitfield misses high. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. If Beebe can keep the inning going, Houston Wright would be next.
As we have a winner for the 50-50 raffle.
It's the 9th run batted in of the season for Tate Abbott, and boy, is it a big one to put the Steamers on top 5-4 after they hadn't led all game. They've been chipping away all game as Whitfield checks in on Abbott. Two-one offer, and curveball is inside, and the count's 3-1 for the second consecutive batter. And out to lead, Whitfield wants to have a talk with his lefty pitcher. Beebe's 0 for 3 tonight. He hit a hard line drive in his last at-bat that was caught by the second baseman, Ford. As again, Irizarry checks in on Abbott. A throw over yet again. 3-1 from Irizarry, and it's up high. It goes through the glove of Whitfield for ball 4. C.J. Patterson is warming up in the Virginia Beach bullpen. And now we're going to have a call to the pen. Irizarry able to retire his first two batters but then back-to-back singles and a walk. And C.J. Patterson will come into relief. C.J. Patterson, the right-handed pitcher, comes in for the third time this season, and the first pitch that he throws is hit out to center. Back goes Keels to the warning track, looking up, and that ball is gone. 3-run home run off of the bat of Houston Wright, the former PCL MVP. Puts the Steamers up 8-4 here in the 8th, and a rude eruption and a rude awakening for C.J. Patterson on the first pitch that he throws. Houston Wright hits it over the center field fence for a 3-run home run. So after the Sea Dogs were up by 4, they're now down by 4. Tyler West lays off that pitch 1-0. West sends that one deep to left. Back goes Spencer to the warning track. And that ball is gone. Back-to-back home runs from West and Wright, the 8 and 9 hitters in the Steamers lineup. It's the first home run of the season for West. And on 3 pitches thrown by C.J. Patterson, the Steamers have left the yard not once but twice.
Number 2, Bryce Steven.
If the Sea Dogs are unable to come back tonight, it would be the third time in 3 games against the Steamers where they have had leads but have been unable to hold it. As Stevens checks his swing, that ball will roll foul. Seems to be the case a lot between these matchups with the teams from up north and down south. Teams from up north always tend to hold on tightly, whether they're up or down. But 90% of the time, as Stevens calls time. Teams from down south always ends up in front. We did see the Knights defeat the River Bandits earlier in the week as that ball is fouled right to the head coach, Justin Hill, who makes a nice play. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Patterson from Patterson, and it's fouled off again by Stevens. This is the Steamers ball club that has not lost a PCL game to a team not named the River Bandits since the 14th of June, over a month. That ball goes through the glove of Whitfield, could have been strike three. Count goes to 2-2. Since that loss to the Redbirds, the Steamers have gone 11-0. That's a tough play from Patterson, who ends out throwing Stevens. But not before 4 runs come home for Edenton to put them on top, 9-4. Here in the 7th. Aiden Pinto leading off the top of the 8th inning here. The Sea Dogs step up to the plate, trailing for the first time tonight. Pinto already has 1 home run tonight, a high fly ball to center field, and his last at bat that sent Nate Paulson to the warning track, where he had just enough room in front of the fence. 0-2 pitch, and Pinto hits one over to third. BB fires across the diamond, and Pinto is retired for the first time tonight.
Catcher for Virginia State, number 23, Lee Whitfield.
That'll bring up the catcher, Talib Whitfield, who came into the game defensively for Jordan Daddio. in the last inning, in the top half of this inning, excuse me. And the first pitch that he sees from Morris sails to the backstop. And Whitfield breaks his bat on a roller over for BB, uses his bare hand and fires across to retire Whitfield. So that's the second straight play made from BB at third in the inning, and there are 2 up and 2 down for Chris Morris.
Well, now left fielder from CCBC Essex, number 12, Danny Padilla.
And that'll bring up Danny Padilla. Padilla getting his first at-bat of the season, and he takes it low, 1-0. Padilla hitting in place of Gavin Spencer, who started out in left field, went 0 for 3. And Padilla up in the count, 2-0. The Sea Dogs dugout is not making any noise as the PO takes a cold strike, 2-1. Maybe it's the tactic to not let Edenton know that he is a PO as he lays off the pitch from Morris, and he's now up in the count, 3-1. The Sea Dogs need base runners, down by 5 here in the 8th with 2 down. Padilla has not swung the bat yet. He checks his swing there, and it's a called strike at the knees. And now it's full. The payoff pitch from Morris. Padilla makes contact, hits it up the middle of the diamond. Going to his right is the second baseman Stevens, and the throw to first is scooped up from Tate Abbott. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Morris as we head to the bottom of the 8th at historic Hicks Field. It's Edenton 9, Virginia Beach 4. The 2022 PCL All-Star Game will be right here in Edenton. Tickets are on sale now. The All-Star Weekend takes place this weekend, July 22nd to July 23rd, here at historic Hicks Field. Tickets for the Home Run Derby are $5 on Friday night, and for the All-Star Game, they're $8. You can go to EdentonSteamers.com, or you can call 252-482-4080 to purchase your tickets today. Both events start at 7 p.m. right here at historic Hicks Field. Bottom of the 8th inning. 2-3-4-2 up, and Danny Padilla, after getting in at bat in the top half of the inning for the starting left fielder Gavin Spencer. Padilla is now out there in left. Chase Bruno takes the first pitch that he sees from Patterson outside, 1-0. Jordan Daddio, who started at catcher tonight, as Bruno rolls one over under the glove of Bryce Lane and into left field. We'll see how they score that. Virginia Beach already has 6 errors on the night.
Sunfield West Virginia State, number 10, Nate Paulson.
And that will be an error charged on Bryce Lane. That's his second. So now third baseman, shortstop, and second baseman. The Seahawks all have a pair of errors. It's not a recipe for success. So back to Jordan Daddy, who's the starting catcher tonight. The 1-0 pitch is laid off from Paulson. 1-0. So the count is 2-0. So Jordan Daddy, the starting catcher, he definitely did not want to catch the whole game behind the plate. He got beat up yesterday. Even in just 2 innings of work behind the plate, he got hit on a ball in the shoulder. One that really got him bad. Steve Whitfield came in for him defensively, but he was on the phone as that ball was rolled into left field through the hole. And the Steamers have the first 2 men on tonight.
Number 17, Case Kermode.
It's the second time tonight that Edenton has gotten their first 2 men aboard, and Chase Bruno has been a part of both of them. He was the second man on in the 3rd inning after Bryce Stevens reached on an error. And there's a fly ball towards center field. Back goes Keels to the warning track, and that ball is gone. 3rd home run of the game for the Steamers. All of them have been to straightaway center. And it extends their lead to 12-4. And they have just been attacking C.J. Patterson.
Right field on College of Charleston, 19, Jackson Hill.
That'll bring up Jackson Hip. After Case Kermode hits his first home run of the season. And the 1-0 hits the back of Hip. Right on his buttocks. So he'll take first base. Still no one out here in the bottom of the 8th. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but
Number 28, Evans.
it took a long way to head over to first. So back to the Jordan Daddio catching story. As the first pitch is popped up in the infield, Bryce Lane is calling for it. And he makes the catch for the first out here in the home 8th. Daddio right before the game as he pulled up to Historic Hicks Field, called his college teammate at CCBCX Essex, Danny Padilla, and asked him if he wanted to catch today. They, of course, jokingly said yes. But now Danny's out in left field. And again, first pitch swinging. That one's hit to center again. But Trey Keels is able to run it in, and going back to first base is Jackson Hipp. And now there are 2 outs.
Designated hitter from University of Tennessee, number 22, Houston Wright.
And that'll bring up Houston Wright. Wright hit the first home run for Edenton in his last at-bat. All 3 Edenton home runs have been against C.J. Patterson. Wright was the first batter that he saw. He swings at the first pitch, sends Keels to the warning track where he has just enough room at the fence to make the catch. We'll head to the 9th inning with the Sea Dogs down by 8. Gage Riddick pitching the 9th inning for the Steamers, up by 8 runs. This is the 11th time that Riddick is appearing in a game for Edenton. All have been out of the bullpen, and first pitch swinging from Evan Jefferson, and foul ground. Over comes the catcher Kermit for a look, and it lands right in front of him. The Virginia Beach dugout was scrambling away from the baseball that never ended up even reaching their dugout. Riddick has 3 saves on the year. This is, of course, not a save opportunity. With Edenton up by 8 runs here in the 9th, he has an ERA of 2.46 on the year. 1-0 to Jefferson, and the breaking ball is up high, 1-1. Jefferson's 0 for 3 tonight, a pair of strikeouts. He just lays that pitch off from Riddick. Count goes to 2-1. This is the last meeting of the season between these two teams. Season, of course. 2-2 from Riddick. And that one is shot out to deep left. Forget about it. Emmett Jefferson, a solo shot here in the 9th. It's the first run scored by the Sea Dogs since the first inning. Touch 'em all, Emmett Jefferson. His first home run of the season, 3rd run batted in. And it makes it 12-5. So after Jefferson hadn't had an extra base hit all season, he doubled in his last game against Greenbrier, and now he homers here tonight. That's the 5th home run of the night from the two teams combined. The first 4 were all to straightaway center. Jefferson pulled that one to left. Christian Henderson takes a called strike. Henderson is 1 for 3 tonight. And he lays off that pitch from Riddick, 3-1. Sea Dogs need base runners. And Henderson foul tips that pitch from Riddick, and the count is full. Here's the payoff pitch to Henderson, and he slaps that one down the right field line. That'll fall for a base hit. Taking a hard turn and holding up at first is Christian Henderson. It's his 2nd hit of the night. His 7th of the season, the first multi-hit game for Henderson. And the 8 and 9 hole hitters for Virginia Beach reach base to start this 9th inning. Trey Keels is 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. Just trying to keep the line going. Still no one out here in the top of the 9th. It's a nice piece of opposite field hitting from Henderson on a 3-2 pitch, and Keels takes the first pitch offered from Riddick inside, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. And that one is below the knees of Keels. Count goes to 2-0. 2-0 pitch to Keels, just trying to reach base. And he hits that one to second, could be 2. The flip to Bruno. The throw on to first is in time for the 4-6-3 double play. And just like that, the Sea Dogs are down to their final out.
Virginia State number 7, Morris Ford.
That'll bring up Morris Ford. Ford is 1 for 4 tonight. He singled in his last at-bat. And he takes the first pitch ball from Riddick. Ford lays off that pitch in the dirt from Riddick. And again, Riddick down in the count, 2-0. To Ford, and the breaking ball bends in for a called strike. Two one, and Ford takes a big hack, and Virginia Beach is down to their final strike of the evening. Fans come to a closing clap here in Edenton. And the 2-2 pitch is just up high. And the count is now full. Ford trying to reach base. Here's the payoff pitch to Ford. And the ball game is over. The Steamers defeat the Sea Dogs for the 4th time tonight. Or for the 4th time this season. With a 12-5 victory. In the 4 matchup, the Sea Dogs had leads in 3 of the games, unable to hold on. And all of them, they scored 4 runs in their first 5 hitters after Aiden Pinto sent one over the center field fence that put them up 4-0. The Steamers pitching didn't allow them to score a run until the 9th, where Emmett Jefferson hit a no doubt about it home run. It was the last run scored of the ball game, but really the Sea Dogs just had trouble bringing run-ins. 4 of their 5 runs scored came in via the home run ball. Steamers just were able to chip away. They had a big inning in the 7th and 8th that really put them ahead. They improved to 4-0 against the Sea Dogs. The 2 teams will not face each other again in the regular season. It could be a possible playoff matchup with Edenton currently in the 2-hole and Virginia Beach sitting in the 5 slot. Excuse me, in the 4 slot. So both teams will be back in action tomorrow night. The Sea Dogs will be the home team at Lakewood Park against the Greenbrier Knights. That game will be right here on the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. That will be followed by the Norfolk Redbirds and Suffolk Voyagers that we'll have for you right here as well, starting at 4 o'clock. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Hayden Banzel. You've been watching the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. The Steamers defeat the visiting Sea Dogs 12-5. Have a great night.